man.
All right, we got him.
We like to apologize.
For what? To absolutely no one. The two-time champ does absolutely fucking nothing.
Zoom, you know how it is. Episode not counting anymore. I'm two, I'm two Dems. The real is back. The real is back. Coming to you live from Zoom, different settings, but you know we had to give you the same product. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. It's weirdly too early in my own house, if that makes sense. So I can't lie, I'm knackered.
I say it's too early in my. It's actually this is late in my house, but I need to sleep, bro. So
I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah.
Adult life.
Yeah, man. For real. Colson Lucy, Don Cullen in the building. AKA L Coolins, AKA C Note, AKA Hollywood Cole, man. Coming through your left there, your right ear, surround sound, smart speakers, portable speakers, Zoom speakers. Does that even make any sense? It doesn't. But we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it anyway.
100.
Episode 226. Let's get it.
It's Eman G45. The G solid in my name. The 45 is silent.
Come on.
Genghis Chibogwe, Prince of the East, Tim Hat Eames.
Yes, sir.
Eman Prime. Genghis Chibogwe. Oh, I've already said that. Black Mamba Dove. Cheetah.
Yeah.
Very present, solid. God is great.
He is.
Brain first, everything. So let's go. Let's get to it.
We give thanks to God.
Yeah, of course,
that was a solid intro.
Yeah,
man, held it down. Yeah, what's going on in the world? I've not been keeping up. It seems like it was an oddly quiet week.
I think there's stuff happening, but it depends how much, of interest you take in it. There's been beef in the
what's that?
In the female rap scene with Jada Kingdom and SteffLondon.
You both look too great to be beefing.
For real, dog.
Like I can't understand it. Like you're one of one, incredibly beautiful woman. Don't beef. Over Burna Boy as well.
All I know is the winner's Burna Boy, bruv.
Oh, for real.
Man's just at home stomping with his Timbs on.
What a resume.
Does anybody know what's actually happening? Has anyone listened to any of the
I have no idea.
Tracks? I haven't.
I've only come across Jada Kingdom if she's been on someone else's work, or I've listened to her with my eyes.
I think it has something to do
my eyes.
It has something to do with being paid for sex, and then you being purchased, like you getting a Birkin after sex, something like. I don't know, man. It's just weird, man. I don't pay attention to lady beef.
Fair enough.
See, I've never understood this because I'm a professional trick. I will in my own tax bracket that I have, I'm gonna buy you things. I'm not, and you shouldn't be made to feel bad. Oh,
no, that's a love language because
it is.
You know what? Like to some extent, some people will turn around and just demonize it, but you know what? It's a love language. I think people need to tone it down, but yes, it's a love language. So I hear it, man. I hear it.
Yeah, no, it's a must for me. Do you know what it is? Like, I'm the sort of person that if I'm in the shops or something and I see something that I think you might like, or in my case, Lauren might like, I'll pick it up for her just because, But that's me. I might give someone, if I had the piece for it, I'd give someone a Birkin just because. And I don't want them to be made to feel bad because it was just because, innit?
They better not give you Drake levels money, bro. I'm telling you. You just be out here doing the madness.
I buy cars. Oh, man.
You know what? I hear it, but I'm just nah. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if, like I've said this before, if you're my babes, then fair enough.
Of course.
You might get something.
Yeah.
But then again, it depends. Like with the statement, ain't tricking if you got it. So
Yeah,
like what 10 grand might be to, like, let's say we're making Drake money. 10 grand is not really a lot. So
yeah.
Mm.
dashing out 10 grand to someone is like, all right, man, just hold that and then keep it moving, keep pushing.
Mm.
And
I
then that
mean,
might just be a friend. Like, fair enough, if it's a friend, I might do that for a friend, but I have to really be close with you to be that sort of friend. Can't just give
yeah.
out money to any random girl just because she buff. Personally, I'm not built like that, you know. You might
Mm.
call that Brack mentality, but
And I
I'm
said,
counting my
bro,
pockets. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
cost of
I
nah.
hear
living
it.
right
I hear
now.
it. Yeah. Now, cost of living, I hear it. You have to keep that piece to yourself. But listen, this is just hypothetical. If I was in that position, yeah, you better believe money getting spent.
Something
Mon-
interesting, something interesting that actually did happen was Mos Def was on a interview platform, not sure what it was called, and was
We're shitting on
asked
Drake.
what you feel about Drake's music. And he replied and said it is synonymous with shopping, or should I say shopping with an edge. So he basically sees Drake more as a pop artist than a
Mm.
rap artist. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts of what you
I don't
think. Do
think
you think he was hating? Do you think it
he's
was true
hating.
what he said? Where do you guys stand on this?
He's hating, but
Did you
I
see the
hear it.
clip or did you see the video? Because there's like,
I
well, not
saw,
the long
I've
video, but the
seen
actual.
both because I know they chopped it up. They did chop it up. Um, I've seen both. But yeah, I mean,
And
I
there's,
don't think the long form pause even like helps the situation. Do you know what I
mm,
mean? It still sounds like he's hating on my man. So
yeah, yeah,
I
he
want to
is.
know what
He
you
is.
guys think.
They've never really got on any, or I don't know what their situation has ever always been, but I've got the impression they've not always seen eye to eye. So he was never going to praise him. There is some truth to it. I mean, we've all said it before. Drake's a pop star that happens to rap. That's how I viewed it. But I don't think it's a negative thing. Like that's not a slight against him. He's just managed to make what he does so mainstream that yeah, you might hear it when you're out shopping. You just might, especially after that.
Aggressively shopping.
Honestly, never mind. He was trying to get up in H&M with that.
And that was the
So,
point he was making. He was saying ultimately, like what he's done for music is somewhat great, but then where is the message? Where is the underlying, like where is art? You have made music for the industry and we've been very successful with it. And yeah, to a point, it's cool, it's great because we all
mm.
enjoy it. But then when does it become art? Like when do you speak to the audience? Like he
Yeah,
was
but
just
not
going
not
into
everyone can do
a
that.
deeper thing. Like for example, Demi, like you don't listen to the raps, you just like the melodies and
Mm.
the instrumentals. So that's really your pocket. But then he was talking about, okay, what if the world changes? What if everything, like, is this gonna be substantial? Is this, and then that also speaks to the element of the whole genre of hip hop because it's been commercialized, but then also when has the underlying message of hip hop, when will it be presented to the people, not just to comfort the people, but to basically carry the people? So that's where
Mm.
he was coming from. Because as
I
far as
hear
we're
it.
concerned, hip hop had started as that, but then it became basically like storytelling. And then now it's about, well, if we talk about Drake, it's about him, his love life, him tricking on girls, then him being disowned by some girls,
The
you
sound is
know. So
The
hilarious.
cycle
I hear it from
continues.
his perspective, and I
I
think it's
do,
super interesting.
but I don't think I choose not to look at life like that. Like I do want artists to be able to have a wider scope and be able to talk about things on a deeper level. But I'm not asking. I can't ask every artist to do that. Like I just don't think it's also possible. Drake just doesn't have that in his wheelhouse. Like most Steph is someone who's very in tune, very clever and he's got the pen for that. Let him do that. I'm not gonna ask a fish to climb a tree. You know, that's not what the fish can do. The fish can swim. So I'm not gonna chastise someone for not being able to do that. And that's the beauty of the genre where it's grown so much. It was at the start, or it was a genre used to empower people, but it's become a lot more than that. And obviously, when things become super successful, it will get commercialized, and then you will have an artist that comes along in the vein of Drake. But I think what he's done and what he's achieved. I can't shit on it just by saying my man makes shopping music. You know, that's crazy. Because you do just sound like you're hating. Because everything he's done, it's not a criticism I would throw at him. The criticisms you just gave make more sense than what Most Def gave.
I think I was just summarizing what he was talking about, but
Mm.
because he goes deeper into it and he starts talking about how, like, if Drake, if you're offended, then you have a heart to understand what I'm talking about. If you're not, then so yeah, he's talking stuff, but yeah, it sounds like hate. Like that's short clip, that's hate.
Yeah. That short clip was insane.
I think that I think I think it's hate, and I feel like it's definitely stemming from there's something that we don't know that's happened, I think,
Yeah, 100.
on the side. And I agree with Mos Def in the fact that he's saying that you can hear Drake's music when you're shopping. Yeah, 100%. I don't actually agree with Mos Def when he says that Drake is categorically pop. I don't agree with that. I think Drake, I think the what's it called? Like the beginning of Drake, the antithesis of Drake is hip hop. You start from
Mm.
Comeback Season, you listen to what was the one after that? Room for Improvement. You listen to So Far Gone, Take Care, all that stuff. It is rooted in hip hop. It's
Mm.
rooted in rap. The boy used rap as a vehicle to get to where he was. He didn't use pop to use the vehicle to get to where he was. He used rap, and it worked. He's good at it.
Mm.
Everyone loved him for it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he was touted as being, the next best thing. Since then, obviously, maybe what I don't know. Maybe you can say since Views, maybe a little bit before that, it then shifted to the pop sound from Hotline Bling. Let's say it started
Yeah.
to be like, all right, I want to chase the chart success. I want to taste that, success where I'm undeniable. Then from then it became more poppy naturally, and but it also became Roadman Drake. It became Afro Beats Drake. It became
Yeah,
what's the other one? The reggaeton Drake. Basically,
Reggaeton Drake is crazy.
my man decided to become a chameleon and just do everything. So
like shopping.
in that in
Like you
that
can
in
go to
that
the shop
sense,
and get
yeah,
everything.
agreed. And
Mm.
in that sense, yes, Mos Def is correct, but I think marginalizing his whole antithesis to be pop is you're rubbing man out because
Yeah,
let's
100%.
be frank, we've never seen anybody in hip hop do what he's done. Whether you want to count his pop shit in that or not, of course, that's subjective to everybody. But I think I think the problem with Drake is it's never really an honest conversation about what he's done. And it's more about if you give the people who don't like Drake the ammo to be like, yeah, he's pop, people can just run with it. And
Mm.
the reality of it is it's not true. And it's not fully true, in my opinion. Um, so it's an interesting conversation. I think Mos Def, obviously, if anybody can speak to hip hop, it's him. And
Mm.
there's many examples of people who have done it in a more, wholehearted way. Like J. Cole done it in a more wholehearted way. Kendrick done it in a more wholehearted way. They've not gone outright pop in order to become, mainstream successful. So yeah, there's truth in what you're saying, but I just feel like there's some kind of beef kicking on there where we don't
Yeah,
really know
hundred
what's
percent.
happening.
There's something we're not seeing, but I agree with what you said. I think to discredit him in such a way, it just rubs out everything he's done, and you can't pretend that at one point or even still, the music he was putting out was very key and important to the genre, and still is. So I think just to rub him out like that is crazy, and it does sound like hate, which is probably rooted in something.
Drake is hip hop, but what I will say is that pop music is popular music, right? And for the past, what, 10
Mm,
years, maybe now the past 2, 3 years, it's beginning to die down. But yeah, pop music was basically hip hop. Hip hop was the
yeah, it
most
was.
popular genre. So all the man who
Mm.
blew up in the late or to the mid teens were all, if you want to say quote by quote, pop stars, if you really want to keep it a
Mm,
buck, but they weren't making pop star music. Like Lil Uzi
yeah.
Vert was making some random stuff and it was going like top 10.
Mm,
Juice World, random rap or music going top 10. Playboy Carti, all these man. Travis
yeah.
Scott, that's not pop music, in my opinion.
No.
So, you know, I think it begins to become like a semantics thing around the word pop music, but I do think there is truth in what Yasin Bey is saying, and I do think maybe he thinks deep down that Drake didn't need to do what he done in order to become this successful. He could have just kept it all the way hip hop and done it anyway, which is probably true, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
I
an
hear
interesting
it.
conversation.
Exactly. And I think you raised a really good point there in that it was packaged, hip hop became packaged in such a way that it was easy for it to be commercialized and become pop. And these people went on to have really successful careers doing that. So
Mm.
long may it continue. I mean, it's not, like you said, it's on a downward trajectory, but it was good to see these people have success doing what was hip hop or rap.
Agreed.
It's easy for it
Yeah.
to be packaged now than it was before.
Oh
Because
yeah.
before you actually had to speak on a track, you had to basically say something. And then you had, styles from South, well, southern parts of America where it's supposed to get you amped up. There is the sound, there is the melody, then there was singing. Then from that point, now it's been packaged where anybody can do hip hop. To the
Mm,
point any artist in the world can just hop on a track and say anything, and then all of a sudden hip hop. It's like, well, there was a whole in Yasin Bey's mind. I think there's a clinic, but then more so as you progress in the clinic, you actually get to a point of messaging, and that's where
mm.
it's obviously changed. So yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to a point where any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do it, and it's not to our benefit. It's really impacted the genre quality wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I
But
was gonna ask you guys a question. I just saw like a tweet yesterday, basically talking about the UK charts and who is debuted at number one. For the UK albums, DBE have gone number one for the first time, which is obviously a
oh, is
great
it?
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That album was arse.
They've obviously been charting like top five, top 10 the past few albums, and they do traditionally well with their sales. But I
Mm.
wanted to ask you guys, do you guys think they're underrated?
Ooh, I think they're perfectly rated. Like they're where they should be. If that makes sense, we need a sound like that in terms of it's clearly quite American, if that makes sense. Um, because who they're inspired by and what their sound is, they're not really spitting. It's just you know what their topics are. Um, I think they're perfectly rated, to be honest.
You say
That
that, but then I saw a billboard where it said that their man sold out the O2 7 times.
huh? Which one?
Arena, not
Greenwich.
not 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 the fake Rick Ross one where he said he sold out O2 Indigo. I'm talking the O2 Arena. They've sold out the O2 Arena 7 times, bro.
Yeah.
Are they a blockbuster act then?
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's why I wanted to think of. That's why I thought about it. Like, okay, musically, I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think that new album wasn't great. I listened to it as well. I
No, it
thought
was
this is
so
not
bad.
this is not great.
But they're not
Um,
album artists, so I have to give them like I will say that they are very much
Um,
wanting. Maybe what was that one that was?
Home Alone.
Yeah, I think Home Alone one.
Home Alone 1 was cold. The DBE Young Bane project was
PTSD.
cold. PTSD was okay. I would say they actually are album artists, you know, but
Uh,
but the music doesn't lend to being album
yeah, yeah, yeah.
artists, if that makes
That's
sense.
yeah,
But
and
they do,
they
yeah.
have such long albums as well. Like they do that thing where it's just, how am I here for an hour and a half? Like, please, some quality control.
I just think commercially and like I guess from like a touring perspective, like everything that they've achieved, even if you look at like the certifications, they've got loads of like gold selling records, platinum selling albums.
Mm.
I do actually think they're underrated, you know, like if you want to look at it holistically, not many artists, I don't think anybody's done what they've done, truthfully.
Yeah, I did not know about selling out the O2 7 times. That's
I
crazy.
think it's because majority of the artists play Image Gang. And for those who don't know, Image Gang is where you do like a better PR, a better representation of yourself to appeal to the masses. So they've never really done Image Gang. They've never done it. So in terms of them getting their props, in terms of the masses, they're never really going to see it
Mm,
as that. But to their
true.
core fans that have stuck with them since the very beginning, um, yeah, you can definitely say that they're getting their props within their fans, but outside, no, nah, they're not. It's
I never
just when
thought about it like that.
they need to drop their activities so they can get a visa to go to the States. And once that happens, then
If there was an art,
they become
yeah,
a new sensation.
if there was an artist that we had that I thought could break into the States, it'd actually be them, especially young ads. Like that sound is what was rather popular over there anyway. But I think yeah, they don't do a lot. They don't do a particularly lot of interviews. You don't really know what they're thinking. Um, so it does. I think that probably lends to them not being spoken about as much because they're just not on your conscious as much. Like, I don't really know much about them as well. But they've been successful for so long. Look at some of the views that they've managed to rack up on GRM and in their own channel, and some of the hits that they've given to the UK. Like I hear it. Like, overseas is lightning in a bottle. Like that's an incredible song. They have so many times where they've always performed, and they've now got quite a good roster of music.
Yeah, I think so. They've done it the right way, to be honest with you. Like
Mm.
they've done it through distribution as well. So the PPs wise, they're laughing, bro. Like they've made a lot of money.
Their distro,
Mm.
my
Yeah,
God.
So
And
you
these
got,
guys drop like it's nothing.
well,
yeah,
bro, that
That
yeah.
goes to their pockets, man. So
oh
they've done it right. If there's anybody who's done it right, it's them. It's more just an interesting observation because if I was to ask, 10 youths in the street from ages, I don't know, 21 to 29, like
mm,
who are the top five, most successful artists from the UK in the rap scene, I don't think more than two or three of them will say DBE. Do you know what I mean? I just think
mm.
they just kind of quietly go under the radar. They do their business, they chart, and no one speaks about it. It's
I
interesting.
mean, they did Ali Pali. Like they've been in incredible. Like all the things you need to tick as a mainstream UK artist, they've done, and you don't think about that sort of stuff.
No.
And but then again, you can compare it to Central C.
Mm,
Whereas I think Central C, the way he's basically positioned his career, he's positioned his career as if he was a label. Whereas these man, they're not. They're both. Well, I don't know if Central C is independent anymore, but DBE is independent. So the way
mm,
they've basically showcased themselves to the world, they've not put themselves in the places. Like I said, they're not doing image gang. They're not put their places in this in the. They're not positioning themselves in the place to do exactly what the label does. Because when we say
mm,
K trap, everyone knows K trap. When we say Heady, everyone knows Heady. DBE is only for the people who listen, and of course they're massive. It's a massive culture there, but I think that's what it is.
yeah.
So
Maybe and maybe they like it that way. Like they can go about their business in silence and just go about it that way. Does Jadakiss
mm,
have any involvement?
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
they were signed to them. I don't think they are anymore, but they just have like that,
Okay.
that spiritual like cosign where it's like, yeah, those are D Block, but
Listen,
they're not like D Block on paper, if that makes sense.
yeah. When I found out that it was because I just thought, oh, Meg was in homage or something, and I found out that Jadakiss was actually involved. I was shocked.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Well, you can't call yourself D Block and then like no one questioned that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
So
I hear it. when I found out he was actually involved, I saw a video. I was like, "Raw, that is a cosign. Like, it's a great cosign to have, but it's a very random one as well."
I just need to hear Jada Kiss's laugh on one of those tracks, man.
Jay, honestly, it might be my choice for this week. He has a song from the Honey soundtrack called JADA. Incredible song.
Hard.
What's the performance?
Fair
Oh,
enough.
listen. And plus, it was in Honey. You know, it was a great time.
Oh, for
Underrated movie,
real.
I'd say. Have you man watched any films recently where they've looked stunning, but they're arse?
Go on, you lead the way, and maybe I'll spark
I
an
watched
idea.
Dune. I was like, yo, this is boring,
So I watched
but
an
it looks
hour of
incredible.
Dune, but I didn't finish it. Is it worth finishing?
No, I don't know what they're talking about. They're beefing over nothing. They keep talking about sand. He's in the desert. I don't like that boy anyway.
Timothée Chalamet, whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
Timothy Charlamagne.
Timothée Chalamet. That's the name of the episode.
Oh, I was sold to it. I was sold on it that Zendaya's gonna be in it. Insane. Like she's in it. She can't be in it for more than 9 minutes, and the film is 2 hours and 30.
Oh, drop me out. I think I watched
Yeah,
an hour
nah.
of it and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Do you know, I've got an answer for you. Have you watched Blade Runner 2049?
24/9. What were
Yeah,
they doing?
I'm so
I don't
pissed.
know.
I was telling Sophie, oh please, let's watch this film. It looks like it's going to be lit. And you know them ones where if you get your girl to watch something and it's not good, you're toast. Bro,
100. She's never gonna
after
let it
two
down.
hours, she looked at me like, this is a hot piece of ass. And
How
I
long
was
is the
like, I
film
agree.
again?
I think it might be 3 hours long, that film, you
There's
know.
nothing. There's nothing to say, man. I'm not watching Ryan Gosling for 3 hours.
Visually, the movie
Yes.
looked spectacular, but it was so dry. And if you look online, people really loved it, but I don't see what the fuss was
Yeah,
about that film, man. It was rubbish.
didn't
Terrible.
Same,
resonate.
same. It was just meh. It was, yeah, it's an hour I can't get. Well, it was time that I can't get back, basically. So
No,
that's
for
what.
real. And I'm in this place now where, because I wouldn't have finished Dune, but where I watch films on my phone and if I'm traveling and stuff, I feel like I have to finish it because I'll just put it on whilst traveling. I was like, this is visually stunning. Some of the shots they were able to get in, I don't know how much that film cost to make, but psh, beautiful.
Hmm.
But the film itself,
Nothing
it's really
going on,
boring. Nah, man. What are you fighting over?
for
And
real.
my mind's been corrupted by like Marvel because I'm like, everyone's so serious that yo, chill. It's not that deep. It's just sand.
Speaking of Marvel, have you man watched Echo yet?
Nah, I don't plan
No.
to.
I can't lie, that show is cheap.
You
That
said it was.
show,
Oh,
that show is cheeks. You know when you watch something, and I'm actually quite guilty of this. You guys know this. I try to find like
mm.
positives and things. Like I'm like, okay, this is all us, but at least this thing is a redeeming factor. Yeah, that show's cheeks, bro. That show
I don't
it's
understand
just cheeks.
why they went with the death angle. As in, no, the character. It's fine that the character is deaf. That's not the problem. The issue stems from how much they showcase that. It doesn't make for great storytelling.
Nah, and the problem is it really impacts like dialogue, scene progression, like make like when things are tense. Like I don't want to spoil it for you too much if you guys decide to watch it, but it doesn't lend to good viewing. And the problem
Are they
is
even
like
doing sign language?
no, they are, and that's perfectly fine. And like obviously as they're doing sign language, they're talking, like it's not a problem. Like for anybody who's deaf, like obviously I have a deaf dog,
Deadly.
and I'm not saying like I have like a black friend type
I
thing, but
have a deaf dog.
it does make me realize like, oh no, it's important to have these kind of things. But I just felt like maybe it's worth speaking to somebody deaf and see how they feel about it. But
Mm.
it didn't lend to like an enjoyable viewing experience. And the problem, what I think annoyed me the most is the first episode, they really did sell this idea that it would be stemming from like the Daredevil Netflix style where there's like fighting, it's quite
Mm.
like bloody and, graphic. They only had that element for like one episode. The rest of it was kind of like tame. So I didn't feel like it really even lended to
Oh
that
no.
world in that respect. So that was a bigger disappointing thing for me. So I wouldn't
Oh,
recommend it, guys.
that's a shame. No way.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I really thought they were going to end the year on a high. They would have been 3-0 up.
Yeah, it
That
was
would have been a
cheeks, dude.
crazy comeback.
That shows booty.
Nah, it's a shame.
That's
I mean, that
disappointing because quite
for real.
literally, I mean, if you're trying to get to the masses, then there is a way you do it, and I just feel like, yeah, I mean, you're force feeding a bunch of people that don't want to be fed. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, it's great
I just don't
efforts, but
understand this.
nah.
You man might like it
Like,
though. You man should watch it. Maybe I'm just being obtuse,
I'm
but
still
I
gonna
just
watch
felt
it, but
like
I just don't understand this. Why they're doing this. Like, and I'm seeing it, we've spoken about it to death, but like, it's just things being woke in places that they don't need to be. You know, like the fact she was deaf was incredible on its own, and that's a really good plot device itself. But try like you ruined the product because you've tried to force the message and try to make it us see it from her world. It's just in there's other ways to do that. In this way of storytelling, it doesn't lend to it. Now you've hindered the product. It's just yeah, it's frustrating.
maybe that's why they kept it a mini series though, just to kind of like have a stab at it and then see if it lands. But
Test the
people
waters,
online
yeah.
seem to kind of it seems to have genuinely okay-ish reviews. Like there's nobody really like panning it, but I just felt like for me, like it's very
Mm,
forgettable. Like I have no intentions to return to that. So
yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think.
we've got 3 minutes left. So
Oh, is it? Well, music in that case.
um, there's actually been quite a lot of good music that's come out. Oh, I was going to say Unknown T's album is really good if you guys have found the
Oh,
time to
did it
listen to
drop?
it. Yeah, it
Okay,
didn't
I'll give
sell
it a
very well,
spin.
unfortunately, but it's actually really there's some really good music on there.
That's
There's
a
a song
shame.
called "Still in the Mud" by Unknown T. It's a really good track. Oh, and an honorary
Um,
mention. Sorry, no, I want to add this song as well. I can't lie. Song called "New Era" by House of Pharaohs and JME.
Oh, with Jamie, yeah, 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 that
JME's
was cold.
JME's chorus.
Yeah, yeah, he's him. He's him.
That's what we like to see.
Um, trying to think. Um, Eman, do you have a choice?
yeah, Another Year by Tony Williams and Mr. Ye himself.
It's the
Oh,
worst.
it was the worst. Did he really do that thing to his mouth?
I have no idea. I cannot confirm or deny.
I hope not, man. It looked like chewing gum.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my choice is JADA from the Honey soundtrack. Jada Kiss featuring Chic Luch or Loach.
Nice.
Shikluch.
Luch, cool. Thank you. Men's Chat podcast through Zoom, but we're still here, we're still present.
Yeah, man. Until next time.
Until next time. See ya.
Yes.
Well done, lads.